Why? Why not?
Hey liberals, you say you care about the Epstein files and you're wondering why the Trump administration isn't doing anything about it? Where have you been?
If I had $1 for every MAGA creator that I've come across online who looks like her, sounds like her, and makes the same dumbass arguments as her, I would have been able to retire last week. And I know there are a lot of documentaries and stories out there about cults and cult leaders. But one day, there's going to be an extensive study done on the brains of MAGAs. Because there have been other cults. There have been other cult leaders. But this MAGA cult, they're in an entire category of their own. Like, there needs to be a robust study of these people's brains. When you go to the DMV, right, and you apply for your driver's license and everything like that, they ask you if you want to be a donor. You get to check the box, yes, I want to be a donor, or no, I don't want to be a donor. I think there needs to be a third box. The third box needs to say, were you a MAGA, or are you a MAGA? So you're a donor, you're not a donor, or are you a MAGA? Because we need to have a designated area to put the brains of these people once they pass away. Because I'm telling you, there has to be something, some piece of dark matter on their brains, so we'll be able to go, oh, they all have that same fucking thing. They all have that same idiot piece of matter on their brain, and that's why they fell for this shit so easily. Because there's gotta be something, there has to be something in common there. There has to be. Because there's no way there's so many of these people out there saying the same dumb shit. Like, you know how many times I've seen some dumbass MAGA go, hey, liberals, where have you been? Because they're so damn... Ugh, it drives me crazy. Sometimes it literally drives me crazy. And it just gets like, if they start like she just did, if they start with, hey, liberals, if you really care about that, where have you been? You just know. Everything following that is going to be the dumbest shit you've ever heard in your life.
On July 23rd, District Judge Rosenberg, appointed by your truly, Obama, denied the request from the Justice Department to release those. If you care so much, why are you not mad about that? Then on August 11th, District Judge Engelmeyer denied the request, appointed by yours truly, Obama. Why are the Democrat judges not wanting to release those records? What do they have to hide?
The same exact dumb shit. Do you know how many times I've seen this in the comments of liberals talking about the release of the Epstein files? There's always a dumbass MAGA going, what about those Obama judges who wouldn't allow them to release the files? Trump wants to release the files, but the Obama judges won't let him do it. First of all, it's the grand jury testimony. And not only are Obama appointed judges saying no, but Trump appointed judges are saying no as well, because they never release grand jury testimonies, because then they would be exposing some of the victims. And the Trump administration knew this when they went out there and said, we're going to see if they'll allow them to release the grand jury testimony. They know grand jury testimonies are not released, but she failed to mention the Trump appointed judges who did the same thing. She only mentioned the Obama, your truly Obama appointed judges wouldn't release them. Weren't you mad about that? Gosh. So yes, grand jury testimonies don't get released. When Donald Trump and Pam Bondi said that, they said that because they knew judges would say no, but they'd be able to have idiots like her out there going, hey, liberals, where have you been? Goodness. Not to mention, Donald Trump and Pam Bondi have complete control of releasing those files. They have all of the control. Liberal judges are not trying to hide anything. They have absolutely nothing to hide. It is Donald Trump, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pete Hegseth, Marco Rubio. All of yours truly are the ones who are hiding everything.
You see, if you really cared, you'd be asking those questions. And we all know you don't. You just thought it was going to catch Trump in a lie. Let's make one thing very clear. If Trump was in those records, you know those judges would be releasing that. So go ahead, I challenge you. Make a video about that making you angry and make sure that you tag me in it so that I can actually see that there's a Democrat that really cares.
The only thing I get angry about is how dumb you people are and how easy it is for you to spread misinformation. Because everything you just said is just complete misinformation. And it's crazy how MAGAs actually believe that liberal judges are going to be biased. They believe that Democrats are going to be biased. And the reason why is because their judges and all of them are biased. Because they're all bootlicking for Donald Trump every single chance they get. So they assume everyone else is going to be that way. But we're not in a cult, so we're not like that. And the other thing I'm just really trying to wrap my head around, because I saw a tweet today from a guy who said, you can't call yourself MAGA if you're out there, trying to have Trump release the Epstein files, because what you really are is just a useful idiot to the Democrats. Help me wrap my head around this. They say Donald Trump is not in the Epstein files. They say he got rid of Epstein when Epstein was at Mar-a-Lago and did some bad things or said some disrespectful things to women and stuff like that. They say Donald Trump is the one who helped open up the investigation of Epstein and all of that. Then how is asking for the Epstein files? Files that Donald Trump, Kash Patel, Dan Bongino, Pam Bondi has said over and over again that they were released. They said it before the election, before he was elected, and then they said it after he was elected. How suddenly is it attacking Donald Trump to ask for the release of the Epstein files? What in those files would be negative toward Trump that makes it so if I say release them, I'm attacking Donald Trump? Help me understand how if he's not in them and he was the one who got rid of him and he did all these things opposing him, how releasing the files that would just show Donald Trump is out there trying to expose all of these horrible people, how does that hurt Donald Trump? How is releasing the Epstein files in any way an attack on Donald Trump? Unless, of course, he's in the fucking files. Like, make that make sense. Because from where I sit, the only reason you would be saying you're attacking Trump, you thought you were going to catch Trump in a lie when it comes to the Epstein files, is because you're covering for a pedo. That's the only reason. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.